everybody. Welcome to the Dace Man Show here live on Mega Powers Radio. Tonight, joining me, as always, Mr. Brian Gibson.
Hold the applause.
And there's the crickets. Back this week, Mr. Michael Burhan.
Jolly good show.
You sound like you're from London.
I've missed. We didn't get to hit that at all last week.
I know.
And also joining us this week, Mr. Mike Payton.
Somebody's got to have a little bit of energy here. Oh, you guys sound like you just got out of a nap. So wake up here. It's the Dace Man Show here on Mega Powers Radio.
I apologize because I just ran like 2 miles before the show, which was really stupid on my part.
Oh, mister, I'm so happy. I'm holding
in my orgasmic feeling for working with Gibby again.
It's a hell of a feeling, man. I'm popping a chub. Just kidding.
I've got I'm literally like the Ultimate Warrior going on that plane and holding the stick down, Hulk Hogan.
That's right.
Sounds like you're a little close to your mic there, Mike.
Mike the mic.
It's not the mic, man.
Yeah, get that cock out of your mouth. Woo! So let's roll into the sports news. First today, the first story we got on our top news for sports is that in Major League Baseball does not completely recant their accusation against our douchebag of the week last week, A-Rod. He plans on suing. Gibby, feelings?
This is like a crazy story. I don't know how he's even saying that, considering his lawyers still don't even have the what's against him. So how can he even say something like that if he doesn't even know what he's versing yet? He's very confident. I will admit that one, but I feel like Major League Baseball has got to be in the upper hand here. They know what they got. They are going to do an arbitrary thing, which I don't see how a judge can technically go against, considering an arbitrary, basically you're talking to a judge, kind of. It's already arbitrated through a judge and things like that. So I find that kind of interesting. I think he is just all gung-ho about it. And what the outcome on this is what he's setting it up for is either he's going to win and get a shit ton of money, or he's getting banned. Those are the only options. I
think it's leaning to the other one. So now he's trying to threaten them to back them into a corner. So, look, I'm going to take you for my contract and some, and then you're going to pay more. That's really what it feels like.
Yeah, and I question it. I really do, because it could go either way. I mean, it really depends what kind of... I mean, they got to have really hardcore evidence, considering he took well over 11 drug tests since 2011. They have to have some sort of records from this clinic. I mean, if they don't have records of it, and they also got to prove that he was hindering their investigation as well, which, I mean, I feel like they have to have it in some way, shape, or form. Otherwise, they wouldn't have went for such a lengthy ban, I feel like.
For sure. Mike, any opinions on this?
Good.
Okay, if it's said it's slander, if it's printed, it's libel. Either way, they should have evidence, because I don't think you'll ban someone based on hearsay. In terms of him being overconfident, maybe he feels like he's got a good attorney. In the end, someone can basically put a brave face on, chat bullshit until the real results come out. And I think what he's afraid of at the moment is basically being revealed. And I think he's trying to put a hush on it quickly before it turns into anything really serious.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, as if the Philadelphia Eagles didn't have enough press against them that was bad as it was, and with racism, former NFL superstar and Philadelphia Eagle legend Hugh Douglas has been fired from his gig on an ESPN show this week in the wakes of calling his co-host, mind you, who's black, Uncle Tom.
Serious?
Oh, I am dead serious. As if racism wasn't a hot-button topic as it is. Here we are again this week talking about somebody else who went and...
Well, what the hell's an Uncle Tom?
It's an old story. I don't remember anything about it because I didn't pay attention.
Uncle Tom's Cabin. Yeah, it's a really old Southern tale, and basically it was drawing the African Americans at the time in the worst possible light that they could, basically making them seem like uneducated, poor, living in a small rundown shack in the woods.
And after disagreement at a convention they were at, Hugh Douglas came out to his co-host and called him that.
Basically how most people perceive actors then.
Yeah.
Dumb and poor. Well, in the end, I think people are just getting a bit oversensitive about it. It's, in a sense, I can understand it's a bad word, but it's one of those words that I don't think has relevancy in this day and age. I think in terms of most people now, everyone gets riled up over everything. You know, I've heard like young guys sitting there going on about the fact that apparently Martin Luther King fought for him back in the day because he gets put down by the white man for some weird reason and he's 16. You know, it makes no sense. There's no relevancy. Pop culture and society in general has evolved, and I think sometimes people need to evolve as well with sayings and words. If I go around calling, for instance, what's the old buzzword they used to call like Turks or Greeks and stuff like that? I can't remember, but apparently at one point, because of the colour of my skin, I would have been classed as the same as, you know, most coloured people. I would have been, the N-word would have been used on me and stuff, and I would have been called this, that, and everything else. But in a sense, it has no relevancy for me today. You know, there's cultures, there's races, there's people, there's loads of things going on. And in a sense, words are being used sparingly and without thought sometimes. People make mistakes, they say stupid things, but we have to learn to evolve as a society. And I think everyone's quick to jump the gun and say, oh, you know, vilify that guy because he said something, or vilify this person because they said something way back when it was okay to say that, you know, and it's...
Absolutely.
I think it just gets on out of hand, man.
Oh, yeah, and it's to the point where you're taught all your life that words can't hurt you, and yet these people are being destroyed because they use just one word, and their careers are over.
Yeah, and it's stupid because I don't even know what Uncle Tom meant, and again, that's because I felt with me and probably with most people of my generation, unless you probably look it up or you probably research this, the word has no relevancy. And again, as you know, everyone's quick to jump the gun. I've seen guys get vilified, persecuted for saying certain things that were no back in the day, but yet you're doing the same thing that you're accusing these guys of doing by saying those words. You're vilifying them.
It's a very Americanized term, which I think is, well, I'm not going to say the only, but more so the reason why you probably have never heard of it. It's you know, the tensions that went on between the North and the South is why that term became so popular. And obviously it's not as popular as some things like, you know, the N-word or the C word or some of the other terms you might hear used in these situations, but it's definitely a very popular one. I'd hate to say it, but it's almost more like a more politically correct version of those words.
But again, do you think it has relevancy for this day and age, though? Because if you see like a little kid at the age of 7 call someone an Uncle Tom, do you think he would?
Hey,
do you know what I mean?
It has no relevance because nobody lives in the woods in shacks except for like weird hermits anymore. Like that's why it has no relevance. It's not because racism is gone. I mean, we're gonna have racist terms forever, and that's why that term is still there. But obviously, it makes no sense because nobody's living on plantations in America anymore.
Yeah, and I say Uncle Tom all the time, mainly because I have an Uncle Tom. You know? I don't see how that can still be an insult. It's outdated.
You know what it is?
Jemima.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we can go on about that too, about how your sister got vilified for saying Aunt Jemima, which is a
referring to pancake syrup. Yeah, referring to pancake syrup, saying Aunt Jemima, and she was labeled a racist for using that in a presentation. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's like over here, faggots of food.
Yeah.
You know, and you'd get vilified for that.
I need a cracker, guy.
You get vilified for words that A, this generation doesn't realize is an insult, and B, it's stupid. Like, really, I could start calling people like tortoises. That's a new insult. If you're a tortoise, you're the scum of the earth.
again, it's inflection, isn't it? I remember saying a quote from Iceman from the Uncanny X-Men, I believe it was, where he was going about anything can be a negative term. Just say it. Soup.
Here's one. Apparently this is only a racial slur for black people in England. Gollywog. Have you heard that one, Mike?
I've heard of it, but again, it's a very old term. It's one of those that if someone called a black friend of mine a gollywog, he probably would stand there and look at me puzzled.
Apparently it has to do with some type of little black-faced doll, but I've never heard that word whatsoever.
Wasn't there a character on Gullah Gullah's Island called that?
That was Pollywog.
Oh, okay. My bad.
You Pollywog.
My bad. I thought it was that. That would have been very sneaky on Nickelodeon's part if that was the frog's name.
But
no,
again,
a pollywog is like the little sperm-looking part of the life cycle of a frog, so I never understood why they called them a pollywog.
But again, I think people are just quick to jump the gun. That's what it is, and it's everything's non-PC anymore. The biggest thing over in the UK at the moment is this whole porn thing. Now everyone's jumping on it. Do you want your children exposed? A man's life was ruined because he kept watching porn. Here's a freaking idea. Here's a clue.
The only thing that can happen when watching too much porn is chafing. That's all I'm going to throw out there.
Or burnt penis. But anyway, the whole factoid of this is you need to allow people to make their own decisions and to understand their own ideals about this. If you've got a guy, for instance, that like Zimmerman, who shot someone but got away free from it because of the fact they say he did it in self-defense, you can't vilify someone for saying something, which is a term that was used back in the old days, which has no relevance in today's society, because now you're sitting there going, oh, you're hatred, you're full of this, you're full of that. Great, okay, brilliant. Did you know what Uncle Tom was until you actually read that story?
Well, I think the other kicker of this is it's a black guy saying it to a black guy.
Hmm.
And then they fired him. It was just, it's a little...
That's kind of Dave Chappelle-ish, isn't it?
Yeah. So...
He was drunk, though, so it was kind of like he was asking for it as well. And he was trying to go live on... It seems to be like on air, or at least live in like an area on stage.
Well, they were probably trying to do a panel or something because he was at a convention. So he probably was getting ready to do a live Q&A, and then, he blurts out, hey, Uncle Tom, get away from me, or whatever the hell he said. And it's just stupid.
Oh, for God's sake. Literally, this makes it even more pointless. Congratulations, people. You've dropped an IQ point.
Keeping with the Philadelphia news on a lighter note, the Philadelphia 76ers have finally hired Spurs assistant Brett Brown to replace Doug Collins, who resigned in April. So he's the new head coach of the 76ers. Best of luck, sir. Also, another sports news, Nadal nailed the number one seed square in the face while playing tennis and basically looked at him and went, sorry, bro, my bad. And that was it. Gibby, you have more on the story?
No, I mean, that's pretty much what it was. That was just crazy event that he just... I mean, he kind of like left himself open for it because Nadal really had nowhere to go at the ball. But it was just very funny.
For sure.
I do that with threesomes. I shoot someone in the face and I'm just like, sorry, bro, my bad.
Bro? Oof.
We were Eiffel Towering the girl. Sorry, dude.
And the last piece of news, pitcher Putz. That's a great name. He was throwing a pitch, and mid-pitch, a second or so of a Motley Crue song went off, completely screwing him into the ground. Gibby, any more? I forget, what were the teams that were playing? I forget what team Putz is on.
It was the New York Mets versus, I think it was Arizona.
The Diamondbacks?
Yeah. And basically it went off. He threw it literally right into the ground. And then they just kind of like look at each other. He looks down. And I guess it's nice enough that the umpire called it a no-throw. But...
Oh. Well, look at this. We have a caller calling in right now. Jeff Krupp. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. Hi. Hey, everybody.
So, got any sports news for us, or do you want to chime in on some of the sports? What we're talking about?
Well, I'm glad that the 76ers actually have a coach finally.
Yeah, it took them long enough.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
You know, what would they have done if they didn't have a coach during the season?
Probably just suck.
I'm assuming the assistant coach would just take over at that point, but yeah, that would be kind of interesting.
Or the chef. That'll be hilarious. The chef just comes out.
the water boy?
Yeah. You guys do make this play, I'll give you all free water.
They're all mad because the medulla oblongata. So, thanks for calling in, Jeff. If you want, we're going to hang around. We were just getting ready to jump into Weird News with Gibby, a new segment that we're debuting today.
Alrighty.
Cool. So, you ready for this, Gibby? You're getting your own segment.
Not really.
All right, here we go. Gibby!
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Alright, first up on the weird news I got is Hawaii. Hawaii is actually considering a program that's literally going to fly their homeless people back to the mainland. And when I mean the mainland, I don't mean like the main island. I mean all the way back to the United States, to the continuous 48 states.
I think that is a fantastic idea. But if I want to be homeless, I want to be homeless in Hawaii. So I would start a revolt.
I mean, I completely agree. But apparently what it is a lot of people go there thinking it's like an island oasis, and then they'll just get by with whatever they can get by with.
Coconut.
But apparently what the problem is it's hard to get a job on an island. Who would have thought?
What are you talking about? He could always be like putting sandbags up just in case water gets too high. I don't know.
And I'll be pissed if my government's spending money on plane rides for poor motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just send them on a door. That's how they got there.
Exactly.
You know, isn't that kind of a waste of money though? Just to get rid of the homeless though?
Well, it'd be a huge boost in travel plans. I don't like going to cities and seeing homeless people. I'm an elitist. I don't give a fuck. I don't like walking down the streets of Montreal and a guy saying, "Hey, you got any weed?" No, I have a job.
And that guy was me.
Now, my question is, if by homeless people, do they mean like the tribesmen that are still sticking around that they don't want there anymore?
Get off our island. You don't belong here.
Yeah, we're just going to knock down these huts. These aren't considered homes. These are just straw statues.
Whites win! Whites win! Race wars up, everybody! Whites won again!
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I can't believe they're actually even considering this. But apparently that's a big hot topic over there on that island, is whether or not they should be shipping these people back to the mainland because they just don't know what else to do with them. I don't know, maybe the rest of the state should send their homeless there because we don't know what to do with them either.
Do you know what I would do? I'd send them all to fucking Canada.
Send them to Mexico.
Yeah. Send them over. Let them freaking take the Americans over the border. Like, how do you Mexicans feel about it, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Here's our homeless people and our meth addicts. Enjoy them.
Exactly.
Yeah. You don't like it when it's the other way round, do you?
Ours aren't hardworking at all. That's what you got to deal with.
Ours will
Yeah,
make your country worse.
Whoa, that was like water.
So, Gibby, what else you got for us?
All right. The next thing is going to be, it seems like a casino in Cincinnati. Let's see. It's the Horseshoe. I don't know if anyone there has ever heard of it.
Sounds like porno.
Yeah. So they had a little gimmick going on where they were going to give $1 million out for the next 3 weeks to, I guess, one random person who entered into a contest at the casino itself. Well, apparently they pulled a name out of the hat, or however they decided to choose their prize pool here, and they pulled out a name called Kevin Lewis. Apparently there was a Kevin Lewis in the crowd. So he gets up, it all checks out, hands in his stuff, blah, 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 and they award him a jumbo check for $1 million. Here, this wasn't even the guy that even put his name into the into the bin thing here, right? So I guess about an hour or two later, after the prizing was announced who won, the real Kevin Lewis comes up and goes,
"Surprise,
here,
motherfucker!"
It's me. Where's my $1 million? So now the casino's got to backtrack and is wondering what's going on, because apparently they never thought that two people might have the same name inside the casino.
Yeah, wow. that just doesn't happen. Imagine a casino full of Michaels. Michael
Smith. Michael Smith. Is there a Michael Smith here?
I'll just be like, yeah, my name's Michael Smith. I have a passport and everything, y'all.
From Texas.
I'm from Texas.
Exactly.
I know Jeff Jarrett.
I mean,
gay.
I mean, I guess the only good thing that comes out of it is they're getting a lot of publicity off of this whole mix-up, and they actually paid the other guy too. So basically, they're out $2 million for this week, and they decided instead of just doing $3 million for 3 weeks, it's going to be $4 million in 3 weeks. So I mean, I guess they handled it right. It's just very poor design on their part.
I want to go there now. I hear they give out free millions of dollars.
Hey, you don't even need to put your name in the hat.
And I'm going to change my name to Chris Dace. So if he does get picked out, I'll be like, I'm Chris Dace.
Millions and millions of dollars. Millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, we'll be the low time players.
Exactly.
Now, you would think they would check the address of the winner with the person that claimed to be that person.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure probably all they asked for was his driver's license. And I mean, the name matches. The name matches. I mean, I don't think they're going to ask you, I need you to put down your social security number. I need you to put down all this information to put your name into a damn drawing.
So they handled their competitions like we handle our competitions.
Exactly.
Send us your name and an answer, and we'll give you the prize.
Do you know what they should have done? They should have had them fight for it in Star Trek style. It'd be brilliant.
Set faces to kids.
Fight.
Could do a Klingon arm wrestling match with 2 knives.
Yeah. Get the Qatar out. Ah.
What else do you got for us?
All right. Next topic that I got is actually in China. Apparently there's a medicine mongrel there who spent 6 years, I repeat, 6 years, building his own private mountaintop peak. The kick is it's on the roof of an apartment building.
Wait, hold on. He built what?
He built a mountaintop villa on top of an apartment building. All right? If you look at this picture, it is so oddly out of place, it is mind-blowing. Apparently, in China, there's so many wealthy rich out there, and they don't really give two flying fucks, that they just do whatever they want. Apparently, they're trying to crack down on this, and they're giving them 15 days to tear down this villa that I can't even imagine how much it cost him to actually build this.
Whoa, that looks like freaking Thunderbird Island.
Exactly. How he got it all up there, I don't know. How he's going to take it down 15 days, God only knows.
That'd be so interesting. It'd be like you'd have like the top of it just come apart, and the Thunderbird 2 just coming out of it. Thunderbirds are go. They'll be like, yeah, you need to take it down. Well, I can't save the world.
What's everybody's problem with this?
They're butthurt.
Well, it's illegal and a half is the problem. I mean, I'm an architecture major, and I can already tell you right now that he's straining the crap out of that building.
But what's illegal here isn't illegal in China. They can do whatever the hell they want.
It's true. I know people in China who just sell cigarettes to door, and don't give a fuck.
Wow. But yeah, so basically they wanted to tear it down because it's basically putting a strain on the building and stuff like that. But I just can't. My thing is who the hell it took him that long to notice that he's building a fucking mountain oasis on top of the building?
I would notice, but like, hey, do you hear that thumping? It's that damn kids and their rap music.
Exactly.
That'd be so funny though. You just said, "Well, you got to take it down." Why? Because of that bloody big spaceship that keeps coming out of it.
Oh man.
Fun times. Anything else for us, Gib?
Let's see here. So apparently, in Orlando, the puppy shop apparently has thieves. I guess one busy day, the owners, swamped. I'm personally shocked that there's this many people inside a puppy store. Apparently there are. This guy comes in with, look like his daughter. She's real young. I would say she looks almost like 6 in the video or so. And he just picks up this dog and literally shoves it down his pants. And then just walks out the door. And then about an hour or two later, he comes back again. And this time he comes back with I guess maybe the mother and the kid. Goes in and slits another dog down his pants and walks out the door. Apparently these two dogs are worth about $17,000 or $1,700. I don't know who in the world would spend that much money on a dog, but and how in the world he just fucked 2 down his pants without anyone noticing.
You know what would be so hilarious is if someone just pointed him out and said, "Hey, dude, that's a big bulge coming out of your pants." What was that?
That's just my penis. He likes you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I'm
really,
dogs just
really
bite him.
Oh, God. Probably put peanut butter on his nutsack and just let it lick it to keep it occupied as he's walking out the door.
So basically, he was getting turned on and a free dog at the same time. Score.
Yeah. Freak.
Oh man.
Anything else for us today, Gibby?
My last bit of news is actually something that hit over a year ago, but it's coming servicing again, and it's a Spanish fresco in a little town. I forget exactly where it is, but I believe it's in Spain. This lady, Celicia Gimenez, attempted to repaint Christ fresco in this church. From what I remember, she basically was in charge. She was a patron of that said church, and she was somewhat involved. And I know that they were trying to get this actual painting refurbished. And just one day, out of the blue, she decides, "Hey, I can do that. I'm a painter." So this 80-year-old woman just sets up shop and just starts painting. Well, she completely destroys this fresco. I mean, it is got to be one of the funniest renditions I've ever seen of somebody trying to copy a picture or something. And all she's got to do is trace over it. It's not even I don't know. But
is that supposed to be Jesus?
That is Jesus on the left, and on the right she's literally painting over it. It's the same exact. She paints over the picture on the left to try and copy basically refurbish it. She's touching it up, is what she's supposed to be doing. Right?
That looks like that looks like an old Egyptian woman.
Looks like the fuzzy things you put on a keychain.
Yeah. Well, apparently people were like, God, you see, the best things about these are when you go scan down to the bottom of the articles and actually read what people are saying. And people were like, "Oh my God, this girl needs to go to jail. She needs to die." Blah blah blah. Destroys it. Well, apparently, this guy took off so much that this is apparently a huge, huge tourist attraction. And the church is actually charging people $1 to go in and see this, and they've collected almost 50,000 euros for a local charity. And this is basically becoming like who's getting the last laugh, basically, as in she just basically created something that is actually putting this town on the map. And it is just a horrible rendition of Christ, basically.
That is.
So basically, as soon as they saw it, they went, Jesus Christ, and then sat down and went, maybe we can basically get her to desecrate loads of other pictures. Oh, look, we've got one of Mother Mary over there. Do you want to do that? The Last Supper?
Please, do us a favor and draw Muhammad. Let's see how they would love that to happen.
Yeah, can you do one of a penis? Because we need a penis in church.
And name it Muhammad and see what the Muslims say. Oh, my God.
Dace is going to get loads of hate mail now.
This woman should get hate mail. I'm pretty sure that's blasphemy, drawing Jesus like that.
You'd have and all the time.
Is that his second coming? Because he is all over the place. He's very abstract.
Well, he does look like he's second coming because of the way his mouth's open.
He looks like a poodle with like a lion's mane.
Yeah, he actually looks like a poor little woman.
Yeah.
Aye.
The whole thing is just...
Now, hold on now, Apple 5.
My bad. We need that as a clip, because I say that a lot. So, Gibby, I applaud thee. This was a great segment. I don't have exit music, and I don't feel like playing your clip again, because it was 30 seconds, and you don't deserve a minute of outro music. So, Go ahead.
I can do his outro music if you like.
Please.
Okay. White Gibby, racial power. White Gibby does the news. There you go, Gibby.
Does the news now. Let's move right in.
Sword.
He does, and like it has to have the British accent. You could be his talking sword.
Yes.
I'm going to. You are now what? Saba? You're Saba for the rest of the show, Mike. Let's move into celebrity news this week. First up on our list is Soulja Boy. Was kicked off a flight for acting like an ass. So he pulled an Alec Baldwin and was removed from a flight. He's a terrorist.
Did he do that, break that Soulja Boy bit? You know, he was just doing the two-step dance thing
there were rumors that as he was being taken off, he said, Superman, ho! And just flew off the plane.
Break that Soulja Boy now. Break that Soulja Boy now.
And when they told him he had to get off the plane, he was like, you!
Oh, my God.
All accurate stories.
He actually did that.
Wow. Delta reports it. It's on their site. New music video will be out Friday.
Soulja Boy got thrown off plane.
Oh man.
Unlucky Soulja Boy.
In other celebrity news, a little too late, dime or whatever. It's too little, too late. Paula Dean won her case against Lisa Jackson about the whole racism incident that occurred 30-odd years ago. So everything, the judge basically looked at Lisa Jackson and said, you can't claim it's like racism and all, like defamation of character because you're not black. Her saying that word does nothing to you.
Did she say to him, it doesn't matter if it's black or white?
That's all Macaulay Culkin comes out.
Yeah.
He was the judge. Our celebrity.
Now I question it, because now can Paula Dean, in theory, now demand her job and shit back? If they don't give it back to her, then wouldn't it be they have no grounds of really dismissing her?
To me, I would sue the shit out of this Lisa person because she just destroyed her whole life.
Yeah, but this Lisa person have absolutely no money.
With her when she saw you kicking dirt in her eye.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my only thing is because now her life basically got thrown into an uproar because of this. Now I feel like she would technically could demand her job back, and she should get it back because they have no reason to really fire her.
As long as she keeps making those awesome breakfast sandwiches, I'm totally cool with whatever she wants to say.
She should come over here and make you a sandwich.
For sure. Those little ones that come in the box, they're amazing. Her sausage is great.
Make me a sandwich.
You like her sausage?
Phrasing.
Gay!
Shit, I should have had my hand on the button for that. Gay! There I go. In other celebrity news, Leah Remini from King of Queens called the police on the head Scientologist and filed a missing persons report because they hadn't seen his wife, in 6 years. And she swore up and down that he offed her. So the police apparently showed up, found her, had a conversation with her, but they still didn't release any public photos or anything of the person. So the person is, in fact, alive. Needless to say, Leah has left Scientology, and the Scientologists are pissed and blasting her.
I think, is that
Was she on crack?
Is that the second high named person to leave that religion or whatever the hell it is?
I wouldn't say she's so high named compared to like Travolta and other people that are there.
Yeah, but didn't somebody, I forget who, didn't somebody else just leave it?
The power of Google. You guys discuss. I shall Google.
All I have to say is she has a great rack, and I would bang that.
Oh, for sure. She is.
I would totally teach her the ways of Scientology through my dick.
Wow.
You left me speechless.
Is that where we're going with here? Okay.
Yeah, I would use it with the power of my mind and show her how to bend spoons.
Kate Holmes. That's it.
Well, that's because she divorced Tom Cruise. So I don't think
Scientology.
I don't think she was in it to begin with.
Yeah, he just made her shut up during like giving birth, which most men should make their women do.
I don't know.
Like, shut up and go through the pain. Power through, bitch. Power through.
Jerry Seinfeld left it too.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's not funny anymore.
Jason Behe left it. Wow, there's a lot of people that left it.
So, in other celebrity news, and you can read this article on fanboysanonymous.com, Lady Gaga went buck-ass nude for a meditation video, which, if you do go and watch it, make sure your speakers are off. It's the most annoying sound you can ever hear, where she sings the letter A, drags it the fuck out for about 3 minutes, and is walking around the woods naked, and then hugging a crystal naked, and then let's just say I watched it a few times, but you got to make sure you mute the speakers.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Is there a penis?
No, there is no penis.
There you go, people.
No, you don't know that. She's not actually naked. You see a bunch of like that garbled face, garbled block stuff that you usually see on people's faces when you watch Cops.
Oh, no. There's actually the video out there where she is like full-blown naked. I have it posted on fanboysanonymous.com. I found the good stuff.
So do you think she's tucked in, Peyton?
I watched that video you posted on there. She's totally.
Oh, I went back and switched it because I didn't realize the first one was gargled. So I went back and found the legit shit. And there's well, you know what? She never like turns her vagina. Well, no, she's walking, so you don't see there would be dangling or smacking along the legs if there was a penis.
She could have a Chinese penis.
Well, she could give herself the mangina thing where she tucks it between her legs.
True.
Ooh.
But she was walking.
I don't see it. It's okay.
But she was walking.
You could walk and still keep the mangina.
Really? I want to see this.
I refuse to believe that she's a dude because
I want to see it.
I keep waddling.
I want to see it. I want to see you walk while tucking it in. Let's go.
Those tattoos are grotesque.
Challenging you.
Hey, the only 2 tattoos I've got on my arms. Oh, you talk about Gaga. Anyway.
I like to push my penis inward to make it like a belly button.
Oh, yes.
How did that fucking hurt?
If it's hard, yeah. Just kidding. This topic got really weird really quick. So let's move on to the next topic. Oprah was turned away from buying a very, very, very expensive handbag because the Swedish worker turned to her and went, "I'm sorry, ma'am, this is just too expensive for you." So Oprah immediately yells, "Racism! Because I'm black, I can't buy this." And that escalated to a thing where the entire country of Sweden apologized to Oprah.
No, he should have said, "No, it's because you're poor. Sweden don't accept your money here."
Well, like, first off, how do you not recognize Oprah? She's got to be one of the most recognizable people in the world.
Well, the problem is her weight fluctuates so much, people just can't tell the difference between fat Oprah and skinny Oprah. Yeah, that's my career down the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be
Plus,
that.
she changes her hair, like, every day.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, she hides behind all the free stuff that she gives people.
Fun. True.
Yeah, like if you say the name Oprah, yeah, I know who you're talking about. But if Oprah was walking down the street where I was, I wouldn't see like, oh shit, that's Oprah over there.
Yeah, I mean, if you actually look at half the shit that she does, it's kind of, I don't know, weird. But if you even read the whole thing, like she's making a big deal out of it, but she said once she learned what the price was, she wasn't going to pay for it anyway. So it's like she was basically doing you a favor because she knew you won it before you did.
See, Oprah always trying to haggle. Freaking just pay the money.
You ain't kidding.
For sure.
I love that. I want that hoodie right there.
What?
Yeah.
Hoodie.
There's a sweatshirt that's just a giant image of Oprah's face.
Oh, wow. That would terrify. If I woke up in the middle of the night and somebody was walking down the hall with that, I would shit myself. I would shit myself on the spot.
Why would you wake up in a hallway?
I sleep in weird places.
Okay.
Yeah, he's done some weirder shit than that. Don't worry.
Yeah, basically, Chris Dace just does crystal meth. That's what it is. For
sure. Hey, we actually have another caller. I'm glad I flipped back and forth to this thing. Jeff left us. Bye, Jeff. Caller from the 609 area. What's your name and where are you from?
I'm Frank, and you know where the fuck I'm from.
Oh, God. Who let him?
Hey, Frank. We all know where the fuck you're from. How the fuck you doing?
I want to comment on Oprah. I don't think it happened. I've met Swedish people, and they're sweet people, and I think Oprah just wants some attention. How the fuck would you not know who Oprah Winfrey is? How would you own a place like that and not know who Oprah Winfrey is?
Very simple. Who cares?
It wasn't in fucking Poland. It was in Sweden. Your fucking company is going under, and you were like, shit, I better make some controversy. Hey, people paid attention to Paula Dean when she used the N-word. Maybe I'll say some Swedish people did it. And then she got the whole fucking country to apologize. If you're that freaking powerful, you don't need it. You don't need the attention.
Do you know what I think it is? It's because it wasn't a woman that served her. That's what it was. Because a woman didn't serve her, a big fat woman, of course, because, most sensible working women probably wouldn't watch Oprah, who's stuffing her face. So it was a man who was just sitting there like, I have a job. I have no idea who Oprah is. Think about it. So now men should apologize to Oprah.
That's how I feel about Oprah. Now, hopefully she'll lose weight like me. And you get a car!
You just want a free house.
I do. So, that ends our celebrity news. Frank, did you have anything else you wanted to pitch in on?
Oh, don't let him talk.
We love you, Frank.
I'm mad that I didn't win the Backstreet Boys ticket, and I'm never going to listen to this station again.
Okay. This is the second time you've said that. The first time, I don't listen to your show anyway. In theory, you had to be listening to our show in order to call in.
I listen all the time, and I hate myself for it.
You listen. Is it like one of those things where you cut yourself while you're listening?
So where's the little violin at?
You guys are dicks.
I'm just questioning.
I'm going to go back to
stop listening to Dace.
You could always purchase them on StubHub and come have a good time with Chris Dace.
Stop mentioning that we're going to be at this concert. It's kind of, we're grown men going to a girl band. Everybody.
I think, Frank should tell him.
You know their songs.
Yeah, I know their songs.
Yeah, well, of course. It's so funny because nobody admits to liking the Backstreet Boys until it comes on and you're drunk and the entire room is singing it.
All right, now the question here is, do you think this concert is going to be a sausage fest?
I hope not.
It's starting to look kind of scary here. I'm just saying.
I'm going with intentions that would make it a vagina fest.
I'm thinking. I know more I know more guys that are going than girls.
Do you think it's a Lady Gaga?
Maybe you just need to meet more girls.
There you go. Yeah. That's it. That's the problem. Because he's got this Heisenberg thing going on now. I could say that because I'm watching Breaking Bad. He shaved his head bald, and he looks like Bryan Cranston.
Oh, God, this is the best idea ever invented, shaving my head. God.
You look like a penis.
Hey, that's fine. Everyone else likes it, except you.
That's good.
And
hello, I've got a ponytail. Clearly, I like long hair.
Clearly, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Man, we are really sidetracking right now.
Do you like it that way?
Yeah, I do.
Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Sounds like sticking it up in there.
Okay. Well, let's get to our topic of the week. This week, I felt it's only fitting that since most of us here, with the exception of Gibby, have
thank you.
form of talk show. And coming in 2014, there's a huge shakeup. As you all may know or may not know, Jimmy Fallon is set to replace Leno. And in Fallon's spot will be Seth Meyers from Saturday Night Live. So it sparks a question as to what will the landscape of late night look like in 2004 and beyond? Because if you look at it, John Oliver has temporarily replaced Jon Stewart on The Daily Show. Letterman's getting really, really old. ABC's got a good lineup to the point where I don't think they have to care. And it just makes you think, what do you think is going to happen with the late shows? CBS's response and stuff to Jimmy Fallon moving up, because Jimmy Fallon is definitely a different type of humor compared to Dave Letterman. We'll start with Peyton.
I don't really watch late night TV. The only thing that kind of affected me was that John Oliver taking over The Daily Show, but at that point, I'm fine with that. I was actually never a big Jon Stewart fan. I was much more of a Craig Kilborn fan when he was on way, way back in the day, in the early days of the show. Mm-hmm. I'm a much, much bigger fan of Colbert, and he's got his own drama going on in his own show with that whole Daft Punk situation. Yeah. But, time moves forward. Things got to change. I think it's good to see some new blood. I mean, after that whole debacle that went down a few years ago with Conan O'Brien and Leno, it's good to hear he finally wants to pass the torch.
You should have let him take over that, because I didn't think he was that bad. They just axed him before he even had a shot. And then they would have been ahead of the curve on this.
I don't even think it was necessarily that they thought Conan was doing a bad job. It's just that Leno changed his mind about retiring. So I was like, oh, sorry, Conan.
I would have just said no. It's because his show was tanking in daytime. That's his fault.
He was an hour earlier.
No. What actually happened was Leno's show was tanking, and Conan was asked to move his show back by, move it forward by an hour, giving Leno his spot. So basically, the Tonight Show would be later that night, and it just wouldn't have worked. So there's all this hubbub. People were saying that Leno should just have given up, and and just left hosting altogether and passed the torch on properly. He didn't. But saying that now, Conan has his own show. He's doing fine. I don't think that Leno's going to give up without fighting on this.
I don't know.
I don't think he's ever been back on top since he did the whole Switch thing. He got a lot of heat from that, and I think Letterman's been running that time slot since then.
No.
Yeah, because he got a lot of heat because he's a douchebag, and that's pretty much it.
Because he also killed an hour's worth of shows on NBC every week, to the point where NBC had to revamp their lineup the next year when they got rid of Leno's show. They lost an hour's worth of programming every night.
Yeah, and part of it's their fault, and the other part is Leno's fault. You got to know when to say, okay, it's not working. Maybe it's time for me to move on, but he didn't want to, so he threw his weight around, got Coco out, and basically was ruining a whole lineup of shows just because the crybaby didn't want to leave his job. As I said, I don't see this sticking. I think he's going to try one way or another to strong-arm his way back in, or he's probably going to put on a competitive show on another network to show that, he's better than this. I think he's being forced to leave, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, well, his contract runs out in 2014, and NBC looked at him and said, fuck you, you ain't coming back.
Yeah.
As part of this conversation, just get a round table quick opinion. We'll start with you, Burhan. Who is your favorite talk show host ever?
David Letterman.
Nice.
I love Letterman. I think he's hilarious. He appeals more to a broader audience. Hell, that guy cheated on his wife with someone, and he's still a likable guy. In terms of his comedy, it always stays fresh. Second to him, I'll have to go with Fallon, because I do like what Fallon does. I just don't know if he's ready for that top spot yet.
True. Peyton, your top guy?
Jerry. There
you go.
Seriously, I would actually say Bill Maher. And this is going to go way back once again to the days of Politically Incorrect. I loved watching that show. And I thought Bill Maher was a very charismatic guy. He continues being charismatic to this day. He's a great public speaker. He's very comfortable in front of the camera. Like I said, these late-night guys just never appeal to me. They always come off as very insincere. Very little of their material is something they came up with on their own. I just can't get into them.
Fair enough. And now, finally, Gibby, who is your number one?
Fuck them all. I don't do late night. It's stupid. The only one I care about is the only one I really like, and mainly because she does not late night. It's Colbert.
Okay. Well, he still has his own show, so he's a lead man.
Yeah, but he's on more, like, what is he, like
11:30.
Is he really that late?
His new episodes are 11:30.
No, I haven't watched him in a while. So
he's always been 11:30. The repeats come on at like 7 or 8.
Oh, that's the ones I watch.
Wow.
Can I change my answer to The Miz?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. Can I get a hoorah? Hoorah?
The only thing Miz does late night is cry.
Yeah, after sex with Maurice.
Yeah, he's got a better life than me.
Yeah, he does, but he doesn't have a very good standing in the WWE at the moment. Come on.
But he's still in the WWE, which I'm not. And he's banging Maurice. The man.
Well, it's the pre-show.
Dun, dun, dun. So this...
That's what Rob Van Dam's doing. Miz is the host. He's on the actual show.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we're talking wrestling here.
I know. It's horrible. This is not a wrestling show. You have like 20 billion of them on this radio show. Leave it there. Leave it there.
Fair enough.
It does not need to cross over into here. You don't need another one.
Well, this entire discussion is going to lead into the Dace Man's High Five and my top 5.
Better not be wrestlers. Better not be wrestlers.
My top...
The Miz better not be on that list either.
My top 5 hosts of late.
Top 5 for the big dog.
So to run down the list, coming in at number 5 is Vince McMahon when he had Tuesday night. No.
Oh my God! You're done. You're done. I'm leaving. Jesus Christ.
Don't cry, Gibby. It's fine.
Number 5 actually is Craig Ferguson. I like his show. I think it's pretty funny. Coming in number 4 is Jimmy Kimmel. Number 3, Stephen Colbert. Number 2, Jon Stewart, and number 1 has to go to the great Johnny Carson.
Yes. Oh yes.
So it's like Johnny Carson by far is in a league of his own, and I had to put him at a number 1 because he's just fantastic. I mean, he dominated late night, and he is the definition of late night. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Dace Man's High Five.
Top 5 for the big dog.
So, just to make a quick announcement, and then we'll roll into the douchebag of the week, presented by Mr. Michael Barham.
Yup.
Last week we had asked a question on the show for Backstreet Boys concert tickets, and the question was, several shows ago, we had a High Five of the week where we talked about comic books to movies adaptations, and Gibby proceeded to choose a movie where we just ripped him for a good 10 minutes.
It was a good movie. I'm still going with that.
Well, the answer was Ghost Rider. And
best movie ever. Best movie ever made.
No, the best movie ever made was The Wicker Man, starring Nicolas Cage, because it was hilarious.
What? That was a horrible movie. Oh my God.
It was fucking hilarious. You went around randomly punching people.
Yeah.
Not anyway. These. Ah!
Oh my God.
Anyway, as you can tell, it's a shitty movie, and Gibby is a horrible person for liking it. But we actually had somebody email into the DaceManShow@gmail.com, and her name is Jess Kovacs, and she scored herself 2 tickets to go see the Backstreet Boys live this Friday at the Susquehanna Bank Center. Congratulations, Jess. Woo! I don't actually have any winners.
And Jess, you'll get to see Dace live in person, so congratulate him and give him loads of kisses.
Absolutely.
Well,
if you're really young, then I'm sorry.
I can assure you she's not really. She's actually in our age bracket. Well, Gibby and I's age bracket. And
She's single?
No. Why are we... Congratulations, Jess. Sorry that these people are talking about you. Let's move on to the douchebag of the week, presented by Michael Barhan.
You're a douchebag. Douchebag. Douchebag.
Yes, the douchebag of the week is none other than Nintendo. I know this is rather controversial, but a lot of you would actually think how Nintendo are awesome. They are. They make awesome consoles. I've been with Nintendo all my life. But the fact is they are doing some unscrupulous things at the moment on YouTube. And the reason is, at the moment, is due to the fact that the company filed a copyright claim on a video that I did that had Scribblenauts in it. It's a WB property. They have no copyright over that. I, deemed fair use and all that. And in retaliation to this, Nintendo decided we're going to get the video taken down. So it's been taken down. My account's been left with a check mark on it on YouTube, basically. So I can't do anything but use the nice little features and stuff. And there is a possibility that I could be taken to court over this if Nintendo won't back down. So it's Michael Burham versus Nintendo. If you want to learn more, you can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/DinaGenius, and listen to me talk about the fact how disappointed I am in a company that wants people to buy their console but targets everybody on the internet. So there you go. Thank you.
Scott, we're pretty butthurt about it.
Yeah, I am extremely butthurt about it because I thought better of Nintendo. I cry inside.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, was the douchebag of the week.
You sound like you're from London.
Oh, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button. And just as a side note for all you people out there, the runner-up for douchebag of the week, and he almost got announced it today, but I'm sure he will get it somewhere down the line, is Senor Brian Gibson. Now the reason he was going to get runner-up is, as you all know, we talked about the contest a little bit earlier for the Backstreet Boys tickets. Well, he was contacted by one of our friends, and our friend asked him for the answer. Now, Gibby, being the true, in the spirit of competition, did not want to ruin the competition for everybody, gave the man a wrong answer.
I like how you say that I was being nice and didn't want to ruin it. I was doing it for the walls.
Okay, fair enough. So he gives him the wrong answer and tells him Transformers. Now, our friend proceeded to email that answer in, and unfortunately for our friend, the person that runs the email account is Brian Gibson. So Brian Gibson shoots him back a rejection letter telling him to try again in a future contest. We apologize, the answer was incorrect. He then proceeds to print this out, frame it, and give it to the man on his birthday.
He deserved it. It was a nice little keepsake. It was our first email. It was, amazing.
But you set him up for failure.
Well, he shouldn't have asked him for the answer anyway.
Oh, no, it was completely set up for failure. He asked me for the answer, then asked me if he should send it. And I was like, yeah, why not? Who cares? He's like, really? I don't want to be an asshole or anything. I was like, you're not an asshole. Just send it in. And he sent it in.
So Gibby's the true asshole because he could have went back and listened to the episode and found the answer, but instead Gibby goaded him into sending in the wrong answer so he could frame a rejection letter. So you, sir,
it was a great idea.
You were very close to being a douchebag of the week. The only thing is that Burham was Nintendo is definitely giving Burham more problems than you gave our friend.
They were. They're giving. I literally might not have a YouTube channel by the end of this show.
Yeah.
I'm going to set my game up then. I can't let that happen.
Well, like I said, I'm sure you will earn the title of douchebag of the week sometime soon. I do not doubt it at all.
I'm sure I'll get it multiple times.
You will probably be the most multiple time winner ever. You'll be like the five time. I may have said that 6 times.
Oops.
Douchebag of the week. And that was a wrestling reference for you, buddy.
Oh, come on, really?
He
Are you
that one
fucking
in there.
kidding me?
So, as we wind down our show, ladies and gentlemen, let's do our plugs. We'll start with you, Mr. Burhan. What do you got the plugs? Sans your YouTube account.
Okay. Basically, you can check out a show that's currently actually airing on my YouTube account called This Job for Hire. It's starring myself, Brandon Ligon, Eleanor Sanders, and it's running through its first episode. It's also on IMDb, by the way, so you guys can check it out on there. It's called This Job for Hire. Episode 1's up. It's called The Call. It's extremely funny. So check that out. And episode 2 is going to be on its way in September, as the show's been posted monthly. Check me out on I Got Gameplay, of course, 8 p.m. on Mega Powers Radio every Saturday. I wasn't on last week's show. Last week's show was actually run by Miguel Leon, Drew White, and Travis Goss, and also with Mr. Mike Payden there. Did a fabulous show on games that bombed. You can also check me out on loads of other shows on Mega Powers Radio because I am the hardest working man in podcasting history. I'm not the douchiest, of course. That goes to Brian. But that's pretty much it. And also fanboysanonymous.com. So make sure you guys support this network and every show that's in it because it's got an eclectic bunch of hosts that gives you any flavor that you like. We're all different flavors of ice cream.
Mr. Payden?
I like flavors.
I like ice cream. Yeah, keep listening to Mega Powers Radio. We got lots of cool stuff going on here. Dace Man's here every Wednesday. I Got Gameplay every Saturday. Every Tuesday's Geek Speak, where you hear myself, Burhan, Brandon Ligon, and whoever else decides to join us talk about whatever geeky things are going on in the world. And as Gibson loves so much, we have tons of wrestling content on here if you're a wrestling fan. Every Monday night following the conclusion of Monday Night Raw, we have a post show where we talk about that evening's events. We have Keeping Kayfabe on Thursdays, which is another show I host where we talk about wrestling's past. We pick a match and go in depth on why that match happened, what happened during it, and what the fallout of it was. And the biggest show we have coming up right now is before SummerSlam, which is this Sunday, August 18th. We're going to do a pre-show starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to give our predictions and go down what we think is going to happen on the show. And the coolest thing is, on all these shows I just said, you listeners can call in and join us. So that's cool things here on Mega Powers Radio, so stay tuned.
Now, dare I ask, Gibby, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, I'm going to plug the email account because I'm the one that runs it, and I need people to talk to because God knows I do absolutely nothing at work. So please email me at thedacemanshow@gmail.com. And if you have any, come on, it's danger. And if you have like any funny news, interesting news, sport news, you want to set up a high five, you guys out there want to do a douchebag of the week, please email it in and we'll try and get it on the show.
Or if you just want to call Gibby names, you can
That's a great one. I will gladly start a email chain war.
And please, no sex chat.
We can start a segment where we just have callers call in and yell at them for about 5 minutes.
Ooh, bring it. Bring it.
Yell at Gibby.
Set up a PayPal account, be like, yell at Gibby for $5. $5, 5 minutes, say what you want.
There we go.
Okay, so now it's to me. You can follow me at the Dace Man on Twitter. I do check that email account that he runs, but at the same time, I'll respond with friendlier things.
I have to tell him when anyone emails us. That's how much he checks it.
Well, okay, you got me when I was at a party. You're like,
okay, sure, that's exactly what it was.
Whatever. So if you want to talk to a friendlier person, you can email that account, and I'll email you back with something nice. If you want to talk to a douchebag, talk to this guy. So, also, you can check us out at oldtimewrestling.net. Our shows pick back up September 7th, 2 p.m. We got a great season planned, great group of wrestlers, and trust me, you don't want to miss any of the action. The Savage has been working out and getting crazy dieting, and it's awful. This food is just shit. And I am getting the best shape I can so I can give you the best season that I possibly can. And hopefully one day win the OTW Heavyweight Champion. What up? Also, August 22nd, 23rd, once again, I keep forgetting to look at the dates for this. The weekend of August 23rd, 24th, or actually the 24th into the 25th, there will be SynergyComics.com's Abby's Clash for the Canines. Check it out. It's a good cause. All money goes to a animal shelter to help them distribute animals that have been abandoned, needs adoption, and they take care of them until they find good home owners, such as Synergy Comic. So that's SynergyComic.com. Check them out. Donate. It's a good cause. You can win all kinds of cool prizes. I've won really cool stuff the past 2 years, and I'll actually be playing with them this year, which is kind of cool. And as always, check us out here on Mega Powers Radio for the Dace Man Show, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Mr. Payden, Mr. Burhan, Mr. Gibby, myself, our callers tonight, Jeff Coop And Frank Klein, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you so much for listening at home. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great show. This is the Dace Man. For the few, the proud, the Dace-tacular. Have yourselves a great night.